Look people in the eye, even if they're blind. Just tell them I'm looking you in the eye. All these companies that are like, no, AI is gonna change the world, gonna take away jobs from people. If people lose jobs, who's gonna consume? And if there's no one to consume, how will anyone make money?
No, I'm thinking about this. I think there'll always be a subsector of people that will consume. The people that benefit from AI being
No, I'm saying that.
and the people that make AI.
Take you 25 years down the line. We say AI has replaced all the jobs. All the reports AI can create, all the decision it can take, it can trade stock market successfully and everything. Everything and anything that you can think of. Okay? What's left of humankind other than consume? Like whatever time you have now, 24 hours, okay, you don't need to work because AI is doing that work. Right? But the purpose that you were doing that work was for someone else. And now that someone else is also replaced by AI, so AI itself is just playing among itself. So now we are away from the system. All I'm arguing is that we don't have to work at all.
I don't think that's
true. We need to just be able to grow our crops, eat, and that's it.
I don't think that's true.
We are going to go back to food, Hasta.
See, my analogy is very simple. What machinery did to artisans, okay, or what machinery did to goods is what artificial intelligence is doing to services.
What some remains, the entire sector just dies.
Yeah, some sectors die, other sectors are born.
Maybe the entire artisan sector is dead. What are you saying? How many artists do you know? Quite a few is not a big word.
MSME उसके लिए तो बना था.
No. All I'm saying is that I think at the very core of it, the people who are just like, no, AI will replace all of this, doesn't account for the fact that at the end of the day, you still need people to consume. Like, otherwise, how will they?
Yeah, no, you're just going. So
I'm going at the most dystopian future.
I know. I don't think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I don't
obviously.
think there's gonna be there's a point in life where all humans are just redundant and they have nothing to work towards.
It'll be funny if that's true, no?
I think that's just it's a scene out of a sci-fi movie. I don't think
Yeah.
that'll actually happen. I think.
I'm not arguing that it is going to, but I'm saying that when people say that AI is going to advance, that's what they have in mind. And I'm saying that they haven't thought of the second order consequences of those things. So for someone, okay, so imagine a middle manager. I'm going to go at very, very lower level, okay? Like make it relatable to everyone, okay? Everyone. See?
Everyone.
Yes, this is being watched by 20,000 people. At the very least 20.
20.
Yes. So a middle manager comes to you and tells you, oh, your job is in danger, like everything that you could do, AI can do faster and cheaper. And I'm going to tell him, you realize that once all of us are redundant, so are you. Because whom are you going to manage? So I'm saying, take that to the utmost absolute scale. What I'm saying is that if you make the bottom layer redundant, which AI is going to do, right? And I'm saying that people argue that it's going to do. I'm not saying it's doing. AI can do it or not. It's a different question altogether. We're going to discuss that later. I don't think it has that much capabilities. I think it's over exaggerated. All of that is being said and done. But I'm saying that when people argue about AI in a summit, let's say, if you listen to Claude CEO says things about ChatGPT or Nvidia or any of these people, they talk as if they can remove that entire layer. And I'm saying as soon as you remove that layer, there is no one left. How do you make money in trading? Someone else is losing that money, right? Who's that someone? More often than not, it's a retailer. He has no money to trade. Whom are you going to win against? Where is more money going to come? All the things are redundant. Who's going to use Facebook when you're dying of hunger?
My counter to that is very simple. The lower level in a corporate hierarchy that everyone says that they're going to get replaced, I think a portion of them will get replaced. But the portion that gets replaced will get deployed in a different industry, that's all. Now this industry could very well just be in the data center taking care of the infrastructure. But I'm saying it's a displacement and not an eradication.
Yeah, that's not what I'm arguing about. What you're saying is the best case scenario.
That's not my best case. That's most likely what's going to happen, because your scenario, your dystopian scenario, or what you think is going to happen is based on the assumption कि ये जो bottom layer है of the management hierarchy is going to get eradicated and they're not going to get jobs elsewhere, because of which the consumption or which this would have like then the next layer will go and then they just stay in one other place and they won't be able to contribute to the economy either by spending or by producing anything.
Good.
That's your argument, right? I'm saying that is the extreme end of the dystopia, which is most likely not going to happen. Instead, what would happen is कि ये जो लोग हैं that get unemployed, will go to another sector that is benefited by the existence of AI and say positively contribute to the economy. Is that going to be the entire workforce that gets displaced? Absolutely not.
What I'm arguing is that people who talk about AI are not ever accounting for the second order consequences.
Obviously. No, earlier you were making the dystopian point, so I'm just trying to counter that.
I do think that, I don't know if it's possible in the near future, but if I have to say that all hell has broken loose, I'm going to go on a limb and argue that I think that's closer than further. It's such a stupid sentence to say, it means absolutely zero things, but it sounded so philosophical in my head. But the idea being that I think at some point, everything and anything that we do is going to get so useless that we're going to go back to what 1960s, 1950s, 1900s, where we grow our own vegetation, that we have small shops of cakes and stuff, we make food for our own consumption, we do the barter system and stuff like that. Because I feel like at least the robots are not uprising yet. So, and when you remove all the services, right, at the core of it, you realize that when you make money, you're more often than not making money against the common person. Okay? The common person either has to spend it or lose it. Like lose it in terms of finance, spend it in terms of what shop at certain brands. So that's why Facebook advertisement, everything works, right? And that's how the Amazon and everything works, right? But I'm saying that when you take away their jobs, and now they're back to the absolute, square one, where they are growing their own food, have some land, making some money, doing some barter with their neighbors, the community self is back. And I think that's a more likely scenario than anything else. I'm not saying near future, I'm not saying right now, but I'm saying at the end goal, unless they also, create robots that can also do, high level farming and stuff, so that food is not a shortage and everyone just gets some, so everyone's just consuming now, let's say reading books or talking to each other, stuff like that. That's also a possibility. But I'm saying if robots do not come in the way, this is what's gonna happen.
I don't know why when people see like an AI taking like an AI driven future, they associate it with robots, like a robot.
It's funny how there's no robot, no?
Yeah.
It's funny how no one has ever been able to make a toilet cleaner. I actually know why they haven't.
Why?
It's the funniest answer I can give you. It's because all of these people are chutia. They want to make a robot that looks like a human being. But that's the stupidest thing ever. A robot is not supposed to look like a human being. Like think of any humanoid that you might have seen in any of these Facebooks or Instagrams or wherever, right? Whatever they have made smallest, right? They all want them to look like human beings. They want them to use their two hands to fold things, to clean a toilet. And I'm serious, like that's the point, no? They're not limited by our biology. Why don't you just take them to the absolute extreme? If they are slow, I get it, they are slow, right? Give them 10 fucking arms. Make them move 10 hours, they'll be fast. But they don't think that, because then the robot wouldn't look like human being and then the acceptability would be lower.
I don't think, like if they come out with a toilet cleaning robot, I think people will buy it. That's first and foremost, and simply because I'm thinking of the example of a vacuum cleaner. A vacuum cleaner doesn't fucking look like a human sitting and doing pocha. But people still buy it, because it gets the job done.
No, a robot and a machine is different. You're thinking of a machine, I'm thinking of a robot. Robot has to, like in our heads, if I say robot, you think of a human looking robot. I think that's what's holding us back.
But
and I say that with absolutely zero knowledge of robotics.
Your Roomba vacuum is also considered a robot.
It's a machine.
You can't go to semantics now and be like, tell me the definition of a machine versus that of a robot.
Machine is anything that's pre-programmed. Technically a robot is also, but it's supposed to take its own decisions. Yeah, that's all. I think that when it comes to it, everyone should have a piece of land. That's your hint.
Humans
Should
getting
we buy
displaced. Land. I've always been for it. I'm telling you, we buy a coffee plantation in the middle of nowhere, man.
Saran.
Huh?
Sarjapur, sorry.
No.
Sakleshpur.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, but you were saying something, sorry.
I was saying similar, and this happened during the Industrial Revolution only. When everything was getting replaced by machinery, when human hands were getting replaced by machinery, the value of a human working on something increased. Like your artisanal bags, your anything for that matter, because machinery was associated with cheapness. I have a feeling, and again, this always comes in phases, right? First is your takeover of the machines, then leading to a displacement of humans, and second is your artisanification of said industry. I think this would like a similar template would fall even for the services that are getting replaced right now. That eventually, because everyone's deploying AI, the value of a human with an expertise increases tenfold than it is right now.
I don't think so. And again, these are two paths that this AI thing can take. I am more willing to argue for the fact that there will be a doomsday. Everyone's back to agriculture. Again, this is a very...
People are back to agriculture now also. Like, there are tech folks leaving the industry being like, "Mere se nahi ho pa raha bhai, I'd rather do kheti," and then they go and do kheti and they have a very lavish life.
They should never do that in India, maybe.
They do it in
India. There's no one who has a lavish life doing farming in India, maybe.
Have you not met the farmers of Chandigarh and their big houses?
They have a lot of issues. Every farmer in India has a lot of issues. There is no water facilities in India. Everyone's dependent even now on rainfall. The soil doesn't have enough fertilizer, pesticides and stuff like that. The soil quality is going bad. I don't think you realize that farming in India is not as easy as US. So US, a lot of people can do what they want to, but I think India is going to be a lot harder.
I think the new age farmers that are moving from say corporate and going to farming are attempting to use those US developments.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. 2% of US population does farming. And that's enough to feed the 98%. Not only that, but also to export some outside. So you have to understand how bad ours is.
Like, it's very sustenance.
Yeah. But when I take my stance now, I take the absolute, like, one side of the stance, because I can always give a middling argument that no, will be some people getting displaced, some getting job. It's happened what industrial revolution
I
did.
think that's what will happen, and this is not you taking a mid stance, it's just you being pragmatic about the situation. You're not like, oh yeah, AI will take over absolutely anything and then humans won't have any work to do, so no one will have to work anymore, and then that's how the world's going to evolve. And on the other end is like everyone's going to fucking die.
Yes.
Right? I'm just saying that neither of those things would happen. You're falling in between, where there is going to be a drastic lifestyle change and means of livelihood change, but we're going to get through it. Like, we've gotten through absolutely everything else. Because I think, if anything, our walls were very fucking resilient. So we won't let us just like whiteboard us.
Yeah, that's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying that I wish it happens. I wish AI becomes really smart. I wish AI takes over everything and we are back to... And I wish somehow AI is also able to create, enough food and water for us, our survival, so that we can focus on great things.
But
like consumption and creation. No, generally, like just writing, reading and stuff like that. What's the harm? That's a good future. Some people will think it's bleak, but I'm saying that if AI really has to take over, I wish it takes over completely. I wish it takes over enough that there is food and water and shelter for everyone. But that's all.
But I don't know what you're associating with AI, because at the end of the day, it's a software.
Yeah, baby. I'm thinking of science fiction. Not friction, fiction.
So yeah, it's a software. It cannot do any of the...
Yeah, I'm just saying it advances. Yes, baby, it advances enough. It builds its own robot.
Both.
Yes, because it needs arms and legs. So, my cloud just working in the background, building our own robot. Buying spare parts on the internet, using me to get all of them to him.
Yeah, I don't... Again, that's your proper science fantasy. Okay,
it's called fiction.
Okay, I say fiction,
yes.
Science fiction. I don't think...
Yeah, I know.
Obviously.
The middle cases, it's chuti up.
Yeah,
it's just like how spreadsheets came, so people moved from...
Yeah.
And guys, I'm not bipolar. This is me thinking what should happen, and this is me arguing what will happen. So will happen is just us moving from, a pen and paper and ruler to a spreadsheet. That's all. It's just faster. Your thoughts don't really matter. The insights you can generate from it, what matters. I do wish we have a sentient, intelligent being though. Like, I wish we had one. I know we don't. Just so we are clear. I know we do not. Nothing's gonna happen, whatever I said. But I wish we did, that could cure cancer and find a way to make a spaceship that takes us to moon and stuff like that.
But
it's just recycling the internet content and writing it again.
Yeah, that's the limitation.
Yeah,
because it cannot really create.
At that point it can create a new thought. I think that'll be great. Right now it's just recycling whatever it read and just giving it to you. It's just an encyclopedia.
Yeah, it's an encyclopedia. It's a Google encyclopedia. Basically, where you don't have to do any work. Somebody will just collate everything and give you the answer.
Yeah, I just wish we were able to make a smart sentient being to make a rocket ship to go to Mars and stuff.
But I think that's a very
far-fetched.
human cognition and
That's something I wish it
imagination.
had the cognition.
It's a very biological thing in my opinion, so it seems very hard to be replicated.
Okay. Smarty baby. Love it.